Hello everybody, it's Max McAllister here with a series of videos I'm going to produce to help you become a better group cyclist. So depending on your skill level, some of this may be completely boring or routine or seem obvious at times. If you're an advanced cyclist, I don't know how much you'll pick up from this, but this series is kind of aimed at the beginner to intermediate road cyclist that rides in groups or wants to ride in groups, kind of wants to know the etiquette and some general best practices for being a better cyclist in those environments. Now, so the first thing is that there really is no set of rules accepted everywhere, but there is a kind of a general consensus. And when I say everywhere, I mean everywhere all the way around the world. So kind of the things that I'll share and explain to you, if you follow them, you'll be able to fit in with pretty much any group anywhere and not stick out as doing things wrong or doing unsafe or stupid things within a group. And I'm going to talk to you about literally everything from a helmet to how to move about in a group, so it's going to be everything. At times I'm going to read off of my notes just to make sure I don't miss points. And you can feel free to contact me by email for further questions or comment at the bottom of my YouTube videos, and I'll be glad to answer questions as I can. So this is kind of a 101, if you will, for road cycling. So let me read a little bit of stuff here. So this series of videos is going to be a compilation of things I found to be best practices that I've observed in groups from social to expert level riders over time. This series of videos will help you function as closely as possible to current cycling laws and provide practical guidance where current laws don't protect you properly or your group adequately. And the ultimate intention of these videos is just to help you achieve the highest level of safety possible in an inherently dangerous activity. So the goals of road cyclists vary broadly from social riding to training or for fitness or racing. And while all riders, though, should have the common goal of promoting the most positive image of cycling to motorists, elected officials, law enforcement, and local communities. You'll find that when you go to different groups, each group will have its own style and particular points of etiquette, and some of those will relate to safety in the exact environment in which those bikes function, things that are unique to their area or their country or their geography. So, you'll want to watch what those groups are doing, observe before you kind of go off and get to doing exactly what you think you know how to do. It's best to, you'll see, hang back, observe for a while, and ask questions when something seems odd or different to you as to why they do it that way. But if you kind of follow these general principles, like I said, you'll fit in without much adaptation. One thing that's important to note, particularly for beginners and expert cyclists, understand this. Every time you enter a group ride, you're 100% responsible for your own safety. So I can't make you safe with this series of videos. I hope to make it safer for you to ride if you learn some of the skills and some of the ideas and concepts we're going to teach in this. But in the end, you're responsible for your own safety. So that's kind of that. Then we're going to do some stuff again along the way. Some things may seem silly or odd, but I'm going to point out things that maybe you hadn't considered or known. So real quick, we're just going to talk about some safety gear for riding, and starting with good old-fashioned helmet. Helmets aren't required in most states for adults over the age of 16. But it's important to note that you have a clean, modern helmet that has not been crashed on and has no visible damage. So why is that important? So the actual job of a helmet is to dissipate energy in a crash. It's lined with styrofoam. So once you take the helmet and impact it, it spreads that energy through the styrofoam collapses, and then the helmet is no longer effective at being able to protect you from another crash. So never mind that you may have compromised the shell or anything. So a helmet that has been crashed goes in the trash. If it's got cracks or damage, it's no good, get rid of it. Then if your helmet is just plain old, styrofoam degrades over time. It's not a substance that lasts infinitely. So best to replace your helmet every several years, as depending on your level of use. And then finally, there's no badge of honor in wearing some old dinosaur helmet unless you happen to be on maybe a vintage ride and you consider it to be a costume. It's not cool to wear old, broken down gear that doesn't truly protect you anymore. So helmets, your number one most important thing. 2 tips about this when we talk about road cycling is actually just wearing the helmet. You know, sounds crazy to say, but that's why I say I'm not going to leave any detail unturned. Most helmets, when you place the helmet on your head, ideally you want to be able to look up and see some portion of the helmet when you look up. So if you're one of the people that rides like this, you might as well not have a helmet on your head. It's not going to protect you. You know, this, cool guy look, that's not going to help you either, right? Helmet's got to be straight and square on your head. If you've ever had any kind of like headache or noticed anything, that'll come from having the band too tight, the adjustment band. So typically I'll put my helmet on, tighten it till I feel it snugging on my hair, and then back it off. As you start to breathe and exercise and your blood starts flowing, your head will swell a little bit, and then that band will tighten on your head and can give you a little headache or pain, so you can just adjust as you fly. The most important thing, and number one thing I see done wrong all the time is the chin strap. So chin strap, there's a couple of things people say. You should be able to put 2 fingers in it. The best one I found is if you drop your chin, you should hit the strap. So if you drop your chin and you don't feel the strap get tight, it's too loose and you have to tighten it. Again, a loose chin strap won't help you. The helmet can come off your head if you crash, and then again, you've defeated the purpose of wearing the helmet. Another little thing a lot of people just haven't noticed ever is there's a little secondary strap on your chin strap. You can pull that over to the side and it stops the excess strap from flapping and kind of beating on you while you're riding. So that's the simple stuff with your helmet. Make sure it's adjusted properly, fits your head. If you have a higher end helmet, inside of it, there'll be an adjustment area for the cage. So follow the manufacturer's instructions on adjusting the location of the cage. Basically what it's going to do is let the band in the helmet at the back of your head, the adjustment band, sit on the back of your head, and then you'll actually adjust the shell forward and backward on the webbing, again, so that it sits properly, kind of along that thing I was talking about where you should be able to hopefully look up and just see the brim of your helmet. One little tip I like to throw in, this is just a little max tip. This is a product called a Halo. They make these in several sizes and shapes. I've used these for years. It's just a comfortable band that goes around your head. It has a silicone gel strip in it, and what it does is any of your perspiration will be channeled around the band and come down the sides of your eyes. So even while mountain biking in Georgia, when it's extremely hot, or in a road ride when it's 95 degrees, I don't get sweat down in my glasses, my sweat dripping into my glasses, making my vision blurry. So that's a cheap little thing. You can find them on Amazon for 10 bucks or whatever. Nice product. And it's comfortable under the headband of your bike. Then next one is safety glasses. You need to have glasses on your eyes all times. For any number of reasons. Doesn't matter whether you're in a group ride or you're alone. You know, a bug can fly in your eye, debris can fling up off of your own tire. If you're in a group ride, you know, other tires can pick things up and fling them back at you. So you need some sort of eye protection at all times. Two tips I like to have. I do recommend that you go find cycling specific glasses. And the reason for that is, although they look strange to wear around as you're just walking around in public, it is the nature of the design of them. Cycling specific glasses have a very high bar across the top, and the reason for that is so that when you put the glasses on and you're in a riding position and you tend to be looking up through your eyeglasses, you don't see anything. If you have normal sunglasses on, you look and you see a bar, and there's a black bar right across your vision. So cycling specific glasses make it safer and more comfortable to ride, and they'll tend to not have anything blocking your periphery as well. Again, check out, there's many brands. I'm not going to recommend a particular brand or anything. And then if you ride at night, you'll need clear glasses. Don't just think because it's night, I don't need anything in front of my eyes. Gotta have something in front of your eyes at all times. So I like to keep 2 pairs, day and night, and some people that are even more advanced will have different colors of lenses depending on different conditions, just like a shooter, you know, a recreational shooter, or other types of sports fishermen or people would have. You pick the lenses that suit the light conditions. So yeah, that's another whole topic. But and then for me, in my gear bag, I just mark them, the clear one, with a piece of tape, just so I know when I grab them, because I use the same brand. The cases look the same. So that way I know whether I'm getting my day or night glasses out. The other thing you just have to have is a pair of gloves. So if you fall, you're going to grind the daylights out of your hands. It's pretty much impossible to not fall and put your palm down on the pavement. So gotta have gloves on. Now, some people will say, "Oh, my handlebar, I've got cushioning in my handlebar. I don't need to wear gloves." It's not about how comfortable your bike is. This is about crashing and protecting your own hands from damage should you fall. So you got to have gloves on. I highly recommend you look around and try different types of gloves, different levels of padding in the palm, and find the ones that suit you. So some people like lots of padding, some people don't like any padding at all, and they can just use a thin leather glove. But know that this is an important piece of equipment in your comfort on the bike. So your comfort over a long period of time is important, and the glove is the contact point. So very important to try and experiment with gloves that will suit you. Don't just get one set and use them forever. Highly recommend trying different ones. So let's see what your helmet. Don't just throw it down, you know, and put it on its lid. You know, you pay good money for a helmet, take care of it, keep it nice. I always try and turn my helmet over, put it down on the bottom, and so that way I'm protecting the shell. And let me see if that was it. Oh, and then another highly important thing while riding is some way to identify yourself. So there's a couple of ways to doing this. You know, obviously you could just throw your driver's license, a credit card, something in a little plastic bag or something on and carry it with you. People will lose stuff while they're riding. You'll pull your food or gel out and you might lose something. So what I've done is just make a color copy of my driver's license, laminate it, and I made 4 or 5 of them, and I just keep it in my jersey pocket. I'm sure that your state government won't approve of that, but you're not presenting it as anyone as an ID, actual ID. This is in case you crash, get hurt, somebody can at least identify you. You can do that for basically free. But something that you can do for short money, I believe it's about $17 a year, that I can most highly recommend, is a bracelet from a company called Road ID. And lots of cyclists, runners, athletes use these. They have different thicknesses and styles depending on what you want to look like, but this band has your name, emergency contact information, and you can even put a little message on it. But most importantly, on the back of it is codes and stuff for first responders and medical people to use. So if you happen to be injured or are unconscious for some reason and can't speak for yourself, medical people and first responders can access this information that may be important to save your life. So you go to a website at roadid.com, you upload all of your medical history, information, contacts, everything that anybody would need to know about you if you couldn't speak. And the problem is if you happen to be rendered unconscious, that's the situation. So even you might go to the same group ride every week, you might see your same 10 friends and everybody knows each other, hi, high five, but sometimes they won't know your last name, where you live, who you're married to. They're not gonna know a lot of this stuff. So if you happen to be really injured in a crash, this is gonna be able to talk for you when you can't. So, all right, so that's our first lesson for the day, just some kind of basic safety stuff we're touching on, and some philosophy. We've got more videos coming up. There'll probably be 15 or 20 of these in this series. So please subscribe to my channel, and more videos will come soon. Thanks a lot.